So our engagement session was a disaster. I want to make sure you save yourself. A lot of questions can arise when you're planning your engagement session. And here's a few things you can do to make sure you have yourself a good experience. I'm Rafael of Rafael Badillo Photo Film. My wife and I run a studio in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, specializing in weddings and quinceaneras. Number one, and I think this is just as important as finding the right outfit. When should you shoot your session? The two best seasons are fall and spring. The reason being is because those two seasons have the best weather, at least here in Texas they do. The last thing you want to do is have an outdoor engagement session in the middle of July, and can you imagine how hot you'll be, especially with that additional body heat when you're holding your significant other? Which is also why it's a good idea to book your photographer at least 9 to 12 months in advance. This piece of advice could be a whole video within itself, but it does affect the options you'll have when it comes to when you can shoot your session. Booking a year in advance at least gives you 2 good seasons to choose from. When to start your session will have a lot to do with your photographer's schedule, but most of them will try to start an outdoor session 2 hours before sunset. That is what's known to us as golden hour. That's when you'll get those beautiful sunset shots of you and your fiance. But now, if your session needs to be during those super hot months, we highly recommend starting at sunrise. This will give you that same sunset look, but with much cooler weather. With all this being said, don't be scared if your photographer recommends a different start time. Depending on the skill set of your photographer, you could really end up with some beautiful images like these. This part is for the ladies. If you plan on wearing those super cute heels to your session, why not? Want to look fabulous, don't you? We recommend bringing some walking shoes. There might be a good amount of walking involved when you're going from location to location, and we want to make sure you're comfortable. The last thing you need is for your feet to be killing you. Now, if you're planning on bringing props or a pet to your session, make sure you give your photographer a heads up. This will help them plan your session a little bit better. Remember, if you're bringing a pet, you're working on their timeline. They're just like babies. So don't let them stress you out. Go with the flow and just have fun. This piece right here goes hand in hand with bringing a pet to your session. You cannot forget to bring this, otherwise you will struggle. Please make sure to bring help. Not every photo taken will involve your furry one. During those times, you'll need someone designated to help with them. Now here's a bonus tip. We typically get asked how long do sessions last. Obviously, it will depend on a lot on your photographer, but for us, they normally last between 1 to 2 hours. Hope this was helpful and happy wedding planning.